Hey guys, Professor Yerby here again. In this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to use a Microsoft Virtual Lab to create user accounts, create groups and OUs, and manage them for a project that you may have. So you can go to the Microsoft TechNet Lab. I've created a tiny URL that you can go to. So it's tinyurl.com/AD Lab 2008. So that's Active Directory Lab 2008 because we're going to be using our Windows 2008 server. So go to that lab. It'll bring you to a TechNet virtual lab synchronizing Active Directory users. So this lab has several different things that you can do, but we're going to be using it in this instance specifically to create some user accounts, create some organizational units and some groups, and give permissions to different resources. So you click Launch Lab. You may have to install something. This will work much better in Internet Explorer. I'm not sure if it's required to use Internet Explorer. It used to be. I just went ahead and went straight into using IE. So once that happens, it will launch a new window that'll look something like this. And from here, we're basically logged into a virtual instance of a server. So we can go in here and we can see everything about the server. So let's see what we're running here. So this is a Windows 2008 R2, and here are the resources that are in it. We don't care about that as much. The domain that we're running in this instance is a datum.com. Not a problem. So what I want to do is show you how to go into user accounts and computers. So you go Start Administrative Tools and then go to Active Directory User Computers, or you could go through Server Manager. Either way. From here, this will open up, and what I've gone ahead and done is created a new organizational unit. So we see all of these folders here. All of these folders are what we call organizational units. So this is what we can use to logically organize all of the different things that we're going to have in here. And I'll give you some examples here. Let's see. So in here they have a group, and then they have users. Here they have some different computers. Same thing here, group and users. So to create a new organizational unit, start at your root domain up here, right click, go to New, and then select Organizational Unit, and we'll say New Example. Okay. So we have our new organizational unit, but if you look over here, you'll see that there's nothing in it. So now we want to create a new group, right? You can create your users or your group first. So I'll just create my group. I'll say example group, and there's much more information you can need to know about which type of group. For this exercise, go with the default that we want a security group and we want it to be global. So we have our group. Now we need to create some users. So I can again right click on here and go New User, and this is where we'll go in and enter our names. Alright, so this is the name of my first user, and I need to come up with a naming scheme and stick to that naming scheme for the for all users. So there are advantages and disadvantages to whatever naming scheme you come up with, but I'm not going to go into too much of that. So if I go with J Yerby and I have another J Yerby that comes on later, I'm going to have to figure out how to address that. Probably want to add a number to the end. Or what I could do now is, just in case we have more come in, I can go ahead and add a number, so I can be J Yerby 01 even though I'm the first one, or just J Yerby 1. However you want to do it. Hit next. You'll have to give it a password, so I'm just going to say password 1, and you'll have to type that in twice. to confirm it. And when I'm creating accounts, I like to do this to have the user create their own password after the very first time that they log in. So somehow a user account's created by the administrator, they're given their credentials, and as soon as they log into the system, they're prompted to change that password. This is done for security. We do not want to disable, we do not want to make it never expire, and we do not want to prevent them from changing the password. Hit next. Gives us a little summary. Finish. So we have our user and we have our group. Now by default this user is not part of that group. What we have to do is we can either go into the user or we can go to the group. So I just double click that example group. I go to members. Now I can go to add, and let's just do a search. So I know that part of the name I'm looking for is Yerby. I didn't find it. Let's try Yerby. So it found it. When you see I click the check names and then it comes up underlined, that means that it's found the match, it's found what we're looking for. We can hit OK. If I wanted to add more, I'm not sure who else I have in this domain, so I just typed in an A, and so what it did is it brought me all the different users, groups that start with an A. So I can create a group with other groups in it, or I can create a group with users in it. I'll show you why that's important here in 1 second. So let's go ahead and add Anna, and see if we can add Axel in there as well. Okay, so I want Axel and Anna, so I can add multiple users here. And then I also want to add maybe the HR. Let's see, HR. What's going on? Okay, so maybe I want to add all of HR in this group as well. So I have this user, plus this group. Okay, so they're all in there. We can see that. And go ahead and hit OK. And so now what we can do is we can apply permissions to this group using something called group policy. It'll be outside of what I want to cover in this lesson, but I'll just give you a quick overview. So we can see example policy. So there are currently no policies being applied to this group. If I wanted to, I could link an existing group policy. So I can say, give me the default group policy, and then I can say, let's see, create a group policy. Let's go in here. And we can say example policy. Where do you want to start this? Okay. And now what we have to do is we have to define that policy. So we go in here, and this is where we can see everything that we're able to define. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, it looks like it might not be showing me everything in this virtual lab, but this is where. Okay, here we go. So these are the different types of policies that I may want to apply to that group. So tons and tons of different settings we can show in here. Well, I say that, and now it's looking sparse. So we can add different things in here. So which policy, which permissions we allow them to connect to. So maybe we only want to allow them to connect to a specific wireless network in this portion here, or maybe we always want to force Windows Firewall on or off, or allow a certain exception. Different things here. Anyway, so I can apply that to the group, save the policy, and then it's here. Policies and groups are also useful when I'm looking at doing something like a network share. So let's open my computer, go in here, and so I have a network share, and I have these different folders. So we'll do new example. Okay, right click on here, go to properties. I can go to sharing, advanced sharing, tell it to share the folder. What name do you want it to be listed as in the directory? So we'll call it that. And we'll go to share. We'll go to security, click edit, and this is who has access to this folder currently. What we want to do is add, and then we want to add, what was the name of our group? New. Where's our group at? One second here. Sharing, share. Permissions. Security. Edit. Add. One second here. Here's the other way that you can get in here. You can go through roles, and we can see which roles are installed. So we have Active Directory. And then users and computers. So this will take us just back to where we were at. Oh, the name of our group was example group. So it helps to use the correct name. So let's try that. And I still don't see it. That's not how that's supposed to work. How did that one work? I've done something to this. It's locked. Edit, add. Not everyone. Oh, it was right here. I'm sorry. So here's our group, example group. See, it's underlined. Click OK. Now I decide what types of permissions I want to use. So maybe I want to allow people to modify. Maybe I don't want to give them full control, but I want to give them everything else. Use your deny very sparingly, because if a person is a member of multiple groups, anytime they have a deny permission, it will override any other permissions they have. So if there's a deny in any of the groups, say this person is a member of HR, management, and example groups, but I have deny over here, then even if he has full control everywhere else, it will override it. So User denies very sparingly, if at all. Okay, so we go OK, close, and now our users that are in the new example group, that are in the new example organization unit, have permission to modify, list, read, write to the new example folder. So that's it. I hope this has been helpful. And again, that URL that you will want to use to get into this lab is tinyurl.com/adlab2008. Thanks, and sorry this is a bit longer than I expected it to be. Bye.